When was the last time you saw the kids?
4 months ago.
My kids are gonna have a time where both sides of the family are in cahoots to celebrate and love on them.
Bring them to point A, and I don't have no problem going there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going nowhere near there for the transfer.
You can't pick and choose when it's okay to say, okay, the kids are good, and then if we're not, in a good space, then it's a issue.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So Safaree actually went on rapper Gucci Mane's wife Keisha Kayor's podcast, and I can tell you right now, just him getting on the podcast alone, even if he would have never mentioned his baby mama Erica Mena's name, her forehead vein was already popping out. Okay, she was already on one when she knew that he was going to be doing a podcast. But it ended up going viral. Well, clips of it ended up going viral because, of course, the host, Keisha Kayor, Gucci Mane's wife, ended up asking questions about the situation that transpired with Safaree and Erica Mena, in which, he posted on his social media as well as his YouTube channel of her basically going over his house, using a ladder to climb the fence.
Oh, what is that? Oh my God! What is that?
And other things that transpired in the home, in which he ended up, calling the police on her so that she would leave. So the main point of the conversation, though they talked about many other things, was, centered around the situation that is going on with them.
A lot of things going on online, and I just feel like I wanted to give you the opportunity to clear your name. Because a lot of things I feel like you're being accused of. And I personally don't like it because I know you personally and I know you're a good person.
Thank you.
So I want to get right into it.
In terms of their child support, in terms to his visitation with his children, and what the status is currently, going on with that situation, being as though Erica Mena is always painting the, quote unquote, deadbeat dad narrative on her platform any chance that she gets.
I gotta sit back and watch my kids literally suffer already as it is because you're their daddy.
I want you to explain to the audience, when you have your children, Legend and Safaree, when you have them on a day or a weekend, walk us through. You guys wake up during the day, going to bed. Like, what do you do with your kids?
With this court shit going on and me not going to her house, I refuse to go to her house to pick up the kids.
Right. So this is something that we briefly talked about before when I did the reaction to his entire, conversation that he had over on his YouTube channel, in which he's, also stated that they did, when the two of them lived in Georgia, they had like everything set up after the divorce, visitation, the child support, and all that stuff was already configured. But now that the two of them have moved to Florida, Safaree wants to do things by the books. And because they are not able to amicably co-parent currently, he does not want to go to her home to pick up their children.
Until this thing is set up on paper and I know, okay, this is my time, because our court order had to be moved from Atlanta to here. So now it's like, okay, what is the new schedule and setup going to be? Because I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, I'm picking them up because you said it's okay to pick them up, and then you want me to drop them off whenever. Like,
now, I saw a lot of people in the comment section who were saying like, oh, well, he could easily just like go to the school and pick up the kids. And it's so funny because he actually mentioned that within the interview.
I want it to be, okay, if it's Fridays, I pick them up from school, then Mondays, I bring them back to school, then it's like, okay, then that's what it's going to be. But in like real life, it's just a very unstable situation with me having to have any type of direct dialogue with her.
Now, I want to say, there's always this push against men, a lot of women were saying these things in the comment section, like, oh, if he wanted to, he would. And if he really wanted to be there, then he would, and he would do that. And, nobody would have to make all these excuses. But I think that people like to talk about these situations as if it is so easy to, go the extra mile and try to fit into positions with your children. But they do not realize that when you are in a toxic situation, something as simple as meeting at common grounds or picking up the kids can turn into an exact catastrophe. Okay, we already saw the video of what transpired when Erica Mena came there to pick up the kids. She came to his home, right, to pick up the kids, woke up, started all this drama in front of their children, and how that unfolded.
I have to put myself first because I'm either going to end up in jail or worse, because I'm dealing with someone whose anger management is just non-existent.
Like, we saw it in real time. So I think it's very easy for people to say, like, oh, well, it's not that hard. You can just, do this, or you can just go to the house and pick them up, or you can just go to the school and demand that you're going to get them. But, it would be one thing if it was an amicable situation, but just like everybody who's in toxic baby mama situations know that when that situation is not amicable, you are not going to go out of your way to cause unnecessary drama for yourself. Okay? It's not going to happen, because all it takes is for you to pick up the kids on Friday and, plan that you're going to do all these elaborate things with them. And she tell you, no, they need to be home by this time. No, they got to be here at, when I wanted them here because they're my kids. Like, it can just turn into toxicity so fast. And one thing I respect about Safaree so much is that he is going, the route in which it may not make sense to a lot of people, but he is trying his best to protect himself any way possible.
So right now I'm just in the, in the legal process of trying to get it to be to that schedule where it was before it got domesticated from Atlanta to Florida.
Oh, so you don't even have, like, your custody stuff is not settled yet?
Right now it's not, no.
Oh, wow, I thought it was.
No, I wish it was.
Another thing is, I think that a lot of people assume that because Safaree is, doing other things and he's taking other business ventures, like, I think that a lot of people are assuming that he is not hurt or distraught about the fact that he is not able to be around his kids just because he's not crying on social media every day.
It's horrible because even like, when my daughter calls me and I'm like, okay, cool, I do want to get y'all, I want to see y'all.
So when was the last time you saw the kids?
4 months ago.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
So doesn't that bother you?
Of course it bothers me. I have to be strong, number one. And number two, I know it's not going to be like this forever.
Here he stated that he has not seen his kids in 4 months and how it's very difficult and stuff like that. And, people are like, oh, I could never, go into this situation. But what people don't understand is that when somebody is dealing with a toxic situation, they have to literally disassociate from the situation. That's the only way that they'll be able to function. Because if Safaree was to really sit down and think about the actions or the hoops that he has to jump through just to be able to be around his kids with this toxic person, allegedly, in the middle, then he wouldn't be able to function. He wouldn't be able to make any money. He wouldn't be able to succeed. And that's the thing, is that a lot of times when a lot of the women turn vindictive in nature, when the relationship doesn't go their way, they have no problem with that man, crashing out. They're okay with it. They're okay if he's depressed every day, if he's, emotionally unwell. They want their men to be like Tyrese was, crying on the internet.
I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God.
Like, women are completely okay if it seems as though you are broken up, distraught, or, broken down by the fact that you are unable to be around their kids, because they want you to feel the way that they feel because of the fact that the relationship did not work out, and they use the children as troops.
Really and truly, I'll be having to like psych myself out and just, I'm not going to put it out there and tell the world how I'm feeling, because at the end of the day, all these people who fake caring, they're not doing anything to help anything for me or my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Erica Mena posted this on her story, and it said, all you do is lie. Then it was, it looked like a comment from somebody that she knew that said, girl, he love bombed you. I remember all the time with gifts. I was a witness of that. He was on you all the time. You never paid no mind. Come on, Safaree. Oh, Lord. Then she posted another thing, and it said, before I walk into 2025, I promise you all will know the whole truth, and it won't be no edited, fabricated, fake receipts either. And y'all know I don't do interviews with just anybody. So that was like, shots thrown at Keisha Kayor. So just know this sit down will be massive. She then commented again and said the truth to one of the many lies is it's actually 6 months, half a year. So that was in response to him saying that he has not seen his children in 4 months. She's saying 6 months, whatever the case is. But the thing that's getting me, and this is just my opinion, is that she's stating the fact that he is unable to see his kids, and she's saying it like, oh, he's not making the effort. But why is it that she is not saying like, no, I'm actually trying not to make it difficult. No, I do want to effectively co-parent. No, I will step out of the way and, come to some kind of resolve with him so that he is able to get a pickup point and a drop off point that we can exchange these kids because I know they need him.
Bring them to point A, and I don't have no problem going there. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going nowhere near there for the transfer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just still trying to get that figured out.
You standing there saying like, oh, it's actually been 6 months, when we're hearing the full conversation be that it's because you're getting in the middle and creating toxic situations is not helping your point. Okay? I don't know if anybody else sees it that way, but that's the way I see it. She then posts this lengthy message on her story, and it says, don't forget how much I know about you and how just in a second your life could really change. You better stop playing with me. Which that sounds really crazy and awful for her to even say that. But let's continue. This deadbeat followed me to Florida after I moved here first to get away from it. We got divorced in 2022. We are going into 2025. Even with that being the case, it's had a court order set for once a week parenting time in black and white since 2022. This clown, by choice from the time divorce was finalized and even before that, has chosen not to be consistent in using any of his parenting time. Last year, you only seen your kids 59 times. This year, you only seen them a total of 16 times. The babies have been going to school for 2.5 years. You never have to see me if you really want to see your kids. That's the real lie of all this. So stop acting like you're scared of the actions you caused when really you just don't want to be a father. You purposely don't do your part because you know it makes my life more complicated. You purposely and by choice miss out on these kids' birthdays, and last year you even chose to be the random fling of the week on Christmas alongside your family instead of your own kids. We are in court for 2 things. 1, he's trying to sue me. 2, he doesn't even want to pay child support for babies he never see. That's why we're in court, not because of his YouTube made-up story. He is taking me to court for everything else but seeing his kids. Because if this man really loved his kids and this YouTube story he put out there had any facts to it, why has he never tried to get these kids taken away from me because I'm so insane? If he's so scared to pick up his kids, why aren't you in front of a judge with this? No, he is on YouTube for clout and views that now he monetizes on. Oh, trust and believe I'm going to tell the whole truth, and I hope it buckles up because there's no more sparing. Now you really can take me to court after I'm done. Too busy lying on me and chasing after little girls to manipulate and F on instead of being a father to your own little girl, effing deadbeat. Since interviews and videos of lies keep being a priority, it's now my priority to give one solid interview of nothing but truth. Once this interview drops, you better do yourself a favor and stop using me for clout and headline attention just so you're talked about. Now, I want to get into a couple of the things that she's saying. The first thing I want to say is that, again, whenever a woman is talking about a situation with her ex and his children, whenever they bring new women into the equation, you're telling us the nitty-gritty of what your problem really is about the situation. The reason why I say that is because Erica Mena sat down with Cam Newton very recently. And in that interview, she said that if producers never got involved when they were on Love and Hip Hop filming, that she would still be with Safaree to this day.
And I will say this, had I not involved producers in my marriage, I probably would kind of still be married in a way, to a certain extent. So,
So the same way she's saying that, he could get full custody if she was so insane is the same way we would say, why would that be the only reason why you guys would still, be together if producers didn't get involved if he was such a terrible human being? She also mentioned that, birthdays and stuff that he is not around. But in that same interview, she also stated that, she wanted the two of them to host, family things and birthdays together, with the two of them actually being present.
I got faith that we're going to get this together. And I also have faith that at the end of the day, eventually my kids are going to have a time where both sides of the family are in cahoots to celebrate and love on them. That's all I care about.
So is the truth of the matter that he's not seeing his kids, or is, for their birthdays or for events, or is the truth of the matter that you're telling him, oh, if you want to see them for their birthday, you need to come to my house and spend it with us as a family?
When I have my kids and someone is pretty much trying to police and parent and like watch every single thing I'm doing and call, oh, who's there? Whoa, what's going on? It's just so unhealthy, so excessive, to the point where it just creates a lot of issues.
That's what we need to know, because there's a lot of these little details going back and forth that it's like, the full extent of the story, the only reason why I'm saying this is that she's never owned up or been accountable for anything that's taken place within their relationship. Everything that goes bad or wrong within the situation, she completely points two fingers on Safaree for the situation. So in this kind of, in my opinion, victim narrative, you're always trying to make it seem like you've done everything right. You've done everything by the book. You're perfect. You never done anything wrong in any situation. Even with the situation where we vividly saw her on camera doing things to Safaree, she took no accountability for that and blamed him.
No, it hasn't been easy dealing with this for the amount of time I've been dealing with it. It's not easy dealing with a non-confrontational situation that starts a lot of confrontation because they know they can violate, disrespect, provoke just to get a reaction out of you. So it has been a lot. You get caught up with certain situations that use your real devoted, genuine feelings against you. They play the mind games. They, take it there where they disrespect you, they violate you, they provoke you, cause you to, rage. And then when you finally react, it's hide hands, they're innocent. That's just kind of, how they want things to be perceived, which is fine.
The next thing that's really interesting to me is that she's like, oh, if I was such a, crazy person, then why isn't he fighting for full custody to take these kids away from me? And I don't believe that Safaree is trying to sever the relationship between you and your children. I think that he just wants equal rights and equal custody to be able to do whatever it is that he pleases with his children. Safaree mentioned in his long, lengthy video that, it was because of the situation with Erica that she was upset that he put the kids in daycare during the day so he could still work while he had his children, and she decided that she was going to come and pick them up and they could no longer stay with him.
Yo, I'll keep the kids for the summer. Let me know. My mother and my sister's here. They love being around them. They want to be around them. That's the issue. I can't reach my daughter's iPad. Pickup situation isn't sorted out. So when I finally do get them, I sign them up for summer camp.
So if those things are true, then you talking about the fact that he's only seen them 16 days and he hasn't seen them in 6 months, would that mean it's because of the situation that you intervened once again because you are trying to control his way of parenting when he is with his children? Erica was saying like, oh, you only had them for a little bit of time, and you're already trying to put them in daycare. But if truth be told, when you have them as a parent, they get to go to school. So if you have other things that you need to do, you're able to do them. So why would it be wrong for young kids to not just sit in front of a TV or a laptop or an iPad all day and actually be able to go to a place like daycare?
She gets so mad at me for signing them up for summer camp. There's a summer camp by my house. She lives 40 minutes away from me. Summer camp. I'm like, cool, I got them. Let me at least do that. Because, they were here. My mother's like, yo, you can't just be having them here playing, whatever. She was like, they need some, structure. Sign them up for summer camp. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I signed them up for the summer camp. I paid for it. I paid $2,000 to put them in summer camp. They went to summer camp for 3 days because she had such an issue with me putting them in summer camp by my house.
Safaree had also included a clip of her arguing with somebody else, in front of the kids. So her saying that, this fear of him picking up his children because something toxic might happen, trying to negate it and saying it was invalid. actually doesn't make any sense, because again, we saw with our own eyes what you did in the house in front of the kids. We saw with our own eyes what you did with the ladder, and then we also saw exactly what happened when there was a transfer with you and somebody else, and also how you acted during that time as well.
Let me call the cops on you. To me. Yeah, you are trouble. You dead. You're gonna leave me more than I need you. No. Leave before I need you. Remember that. Slow, Linda. Yeah, go ahead. You too. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because your other two kids are gonna be miserable just like you. Oh, fuck on you. Go ahead. Jerk off. Go ahead. Go ahead. On you. Go ahead. All because of you. All because of you. All because of you.
The thing that gets me about this Erica Mena situation is that there are really, mothers out there who cannot find a baby daddy. Okay, he don't want to pick up the kids. He don't know the kids. The kids don't know him. The kids don't know where he live. Like, there are women who are actually in certain situations, sometimes that they put themselves in, and sometimes that ended up happening over time. So when I see women who that you could see the daddy, you know where he is, and you are just, from what we've seen, okay, from the evidence that Safaree has shown, getting in the way to paint a certain narrative against that man, and then, not figuratively blocking them, but trying to control the entire situation to go how you want it to be, it's distasteful. And that's why even like the likes of Keisha Kaur, she constantly said in the interview that she wanted Safaree's perspective talked about, more and more, because she doesn't like the light that he is painted in, because it's not a true representation of the evidence that she's seen, the person that she knows, and the parent that he is.
A lot of things going on online, and I just feel like I wanted to give you the opportunity to clear your name, because a lot of things I feel like you're being accused of. And I personally don't like it, because I know you personally and I know you're a good person.
The thing is that, every chance that Erica gets, she's always posting these, subliminals of how she is like, playing both roles and she can't do it on her own. I mean, no, she's doing it on her own. And, I don't need no man. I got this. I'm mommy and daddy. She also posted, ever since this interview came out, that she spent $500 on clothes for the kids, like just trying to show and prove that she is the, ultimate parent. And listen, you both had kids. You have a position to play. He has a position to play. He let it be, they let it be known that the court system or whatever the situation is the reason why, he's unable to get everything fixed and rearranged and changed. And I'm sure that whenever those things are fixed, they will realize how long he hasn't been, whatever the case is, and they're gonna, make him make up for it. I'm pretty sure, right? But the situation is that all of the negativity, all of the feeding the lines and this and that, she said that she's gonna talk about it, and for sure, I'm gonna react to it, okay? I'm going to listen to what she have to say. We're going to see if she takes any accountability for the situation. Within this interview, even, Keisha asked Safaree, like, does he take accountability for anything that goes on? And he responded that he actually does.
Do you take any accountability for Erica's behavior?
Of course.
Oh, you do? Tell us about that.
You're good. I feel like if something is over and you're still dibbling and dabbling and spinning the block.
Now this I 100% agree with, okay? I even said it before in my original reaction video to the long, lengthy post. If you over there laying up in the bed with this woman who, go crazy sometime, don't go crazy sometime, fight you sometime, don't fight you, she had already, slandered your name on social media, and you still play in that bedroom game, it seems like you like it, right? It seems like you're asking for it. Likewise, with her, she's always calling him names, she's slandering him, but then he was in your bed very recently. It seems like you like him still, okay? And it seems like him being a quote-unquote deadbeat is not very much a problem if you're still able to be intimate with him.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I just feel like, to me, I'm like, whatever, like, okay, if this is over with and you're still doing whatever you're doing because you're telling me you're so-called talking to other people, I'm like, cool, so then, hey.
So, I mean, just as we know, nobody wins when the family feuds. It's never a celebratory moment or a happy moment when the family is going back and forth, especially on social media. It's nothing that's ever nice. But one thing I do have to say is that it's ironic that Erica Mena is saying that he's constantly talking about her, but he just started talking. Okay, he did one video and I think maybe 2 or 3 interviews. Every chance that Erica Mena has gotten from, you know, even 2021 while they were in a marriage to currently today, she has always gotten a chance to tell her perspective and talk about this man. So if you had all these years to be able to talk about it and he never said anything, you have to allow him that space to be also, you know, vocal about the things that he's doing as well and his perspective as well, because he's allowed a certain narrative to be painted because of his silence.
I really don't let it get to me because I know what's really going on, and you know, deadbeats ain't paying what I'm paying in lawyer fees to get this shit set up.
So now the fact that he is speaking up, I don't think it's right that you try to, you know, oh, you don't get to talk or you don't get to say anything, because how was that right for you but not right for him? I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this entire video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.